Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of the XTEP J Lin 2 SE. So this is Jeremy Lin's second signature shoe, but it's like a different version of it. It retails for $100, so if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave the link in the description box. $100 is an amazing deal for this shoe just because you have carbon fiber and also the cushion and the tech specs are pretty damn good in this shoe. But yeah, this is my performance review, so let's get started off with the Tracciones, and in this color we have a solid white rubber outsole. And we have this like wavy traction pattern, right, going throughout the entire outsole. And like I mentioned before, we have the carbon fiber midfoot chain plate, right, exposed here in the midfoot, which is pretty damn nice. So how is the traction? So on a clean court, you're gonna be good to go. I had pretty damn good stops. I wouldn't say it's top tier. I wouldn't say it's absolutely amazing, but I had a pretty good time playing in these just because the traction overall, it was solid on a clean court. However, it was really bad on dust, right? It was picking up dust pretty damn quickly, and also it's pretty damn hard to wipe off, right? I had to really get in there and wipe off all that dust. So if you're gonna be playing on a dusty court, probably not the best option, or actually it's pretty bad. So just be careful on that. If you're playing on an outdoor court, however, you should be good to go. There are some soft spots, however, right? If you guys can see, like on the thinner parts of the outsole, it does get soft just because the rubber is thin, right? So I would expect it to be pretty good on an outdoor court just because it says it's abrasion resistant and it's a Chinese company, right? But I probably wouldn't say it's like the best, right? Just take it with a grain of salt. I didn't play with these on an outdoor court. It's just my speculation right now. But yeah, as far as the traction goes, I'm playing on like LA fitness courts and 24-hour fitness courts, so it is pretty dusty, right? And I was playing with these and also like the Curry Hover Splash 3 and then also the Jaw ones, and the Jaw one is absolutely amazing. I was biting through dust like really well. This one, not the best time just because, you know, it was pretty dusty in there. So there is the traction there. Moving on to the heel to toe transition, overall it's really smooth, right? So as you guys can see, it's hella caged. We have a lot of caging here in the back of the heel, also on the lateral side. On the medial side, it's exposed, right? It's not caged really at all, but it's have a good amount of compression here in the heel. It's not clunky or anything at all, and we have a nice rounded shape. And then in the forefoot, we have a nice rounded shape as well. And look at that, a good amount of forefoot flex. So overall heel to toe transition when you're doing heel dominant strides on the court is really smooth. And then moving on to one of my favorite parts about the shoe, which is the cushion, right? So the cushion, they're using XTEP Boom, and I don't really know how they're using Boom because Leaning has Boom, right? They call their cushion, their proprietary cushion, Boom. It's a P-Bax foam, but anyways, yeah, so they're calling this the XTEP Boom, and it feels extremely nice. So it's really soft, very comfortable, and step and comfort is also great, right? So the insole is all right. You know, I would say it's just a regular insole. It adds a little bit to the step and comfort, but if you feel like the strobe board is actually like not super soft, but there's a little bit of give to it, right? So in the heel and the forefoot, for step and comfort, it feels pretty damn nice, right? And also, like I mentioned before, we have all of this caging, which I think was necessary because the Boom is actually really soft, right? So yeah, there is a little bit of compression, right? It's not a super stiff plastic, but it is it's pretty hard, but there's still a little bit of compression and also a little bit of bounce back, just a tiny bit. So like I said, when you're doing heel dominant strides, you feel that compression, it's soft, and then you have a nice little rebound back from the cushion. Nothing crazy, of course, but it's pretty nice, right? Impact protection also is really good. Court feel, I would say, is all right, like probably average court feel. It's not amazing, and also it's not terrible, especially here in the heel. I feel like it's kind of high up off the ground, and also there is a pretty high offset. But overall, the cushioning setup is really nice. The only thing that's kind of negative in my personal opinion is the court feel, but like I said, it was like average, so nothing terrible, right? So the cushioning setup was overall very nice, and I enjoyed it. Now moving on to the material. So they're using like a synthetic material. It's basically like plastic. You can see like a little bit of a grid pattern, right? And if you look underneath that, there is like an underlying mesh material, right? It's pretty similar to like the One Take 4 and like the Why Not 0.6. However, it's a lot more supportive, right? And also we can see a little bit of fuse around the toe box as well for extra durability and support. It's super duper thin here in the forefoot, right? It conforms to your foot really well, while also it keeps that support. So I really like that here in the forefoot. And then here in the midfoot, we can see like the first two eyelets here, it kind of extends into like this strap, and it goes underneath the material for better support as well for lateral containment. So it's on the lateral and also on the medial side of the shoe. And then we kind of have like an outer shell, right? This like like plastic material, and then we have an inner booty with this very stretchy sock-like knit, which feels amazing. So yeah, you just kind of like put this shoe on, right? You stretch the tongue out, you slide the shoe on like a sock, and it feels really nice. You know, that knit material, it stretches over your foot, and then we have this outer shell for support, of course. And then here in the ankle area, we have like pretty minimal padding, right? So overall, like the material, it doesn't feel super cheap or anything, especially for $100. It's actually quite nice. And also it feels really nice on foot. And then here in the heel, we have like this kind of like heel counter, right? External heel counter. So yeah, in my opinion, it's a great upper, right? And now moving on to the fit, I went up half a size and it fits me pretty well. However, there is a little bit of length, right? So I feel like if I went true to size, it would be okay. For most people, I would suggest going up half a size, but if you want a really snug fit, maybe go true to size. Just be careful on that, however. But here in the toe box, look at that. You see how it scrunches up like crazy? Look at that. So yeah, it was really roomy here in the toe box, especially once I started to break it in, and like once I started playing it a lot more, it started to get a little bit stretchier for some reason, right? So here in the toe box, it's extremely roomy, which I don't like. As far as the width goes, I would say it's around normal width, right? So because of that roomy fit, I didn't really like the fit overall, just because I like to have a very snug fit here in the toe box, in my personal opinion. Of course, if you like to have a roomy toe box, and good for you, I guess, right? This shoe's gonna be good for you, but for me, it wasn't great. And I guess we'll segue into support. So for lateral containment, it was good, right? So as you guys can see, all the lateral counters, this cage comes up here in the forefoot, acting as a sidewall, and then here in the heel, we have an internal TPU heel counter and also external TPU heel counter. And like I said, this material overall is pretty damn supportive. However, because of the roomier toe box, when I was doing hard lateral movements, my foot would like move this way inside of the shoe, right? So when I was doing lateral movements, it would just go boom, right? So I don't know what that sound was, but yeah, that didn't really feel good, right? And just because of the roomier toe box, so I didn't like that, right? So if you like that roomier fit and you don't mind that, then it should be fine. But for me, I didn't really like it. As far as the lateral stability goes, I was good to go, right? As you guys can see, there is a very nice outrigger, and we have a very wide base as well. So lateral stability was good. It's just, I guess lateral containment was good just because my foot wasn't coming out of the footbed, but because of the sloppy, like roomier fit here in the toe box, my foot was moving around inside of the shoe still, right? So I didn't really like that. And now moving on to the weight of the shoe, if I remember correctly, it's like around average, maybe like 12, 13 ounces, not super heavy, right? Yeah, so 12.95 ounces, that's pretty much 13 ounces. Let's check the other shoe. 13.33 ounces, so maybe like average of 13.1 ounces, something like that. It's a little bit heavier than average. You know, the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. And this shoe feels great on foot. I love how the upper feels. The cushion is super soft and very comfortable. It's just those two things, right? There's two things that I didn't like, and it just kind of made me feel slow when I was playing it. It's the traction. Traction on dust was not good, and also because my foot was moving around inside of the shoe from the roomier fit here in the toe box, that also didn't feel too good, and I felt a little bit less responsive when I was playing in this, right? So that definitely did suck, but overall everything else felt pretty damn nice, right? And moving on to the ventilation. Ventilation is pretty good. Like I said, this material is pretty thin. There is a little bit of airflow through this, right? So ventilation, I would say, is pretty good. And moving on to the aesthetics, I love it. You know, this colorway looks great. I actually really like this teal color, and the overall like design of the shoe looks great as well, right? With this inner booty, like the knit and stuff like that. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, for $100, I would say it's pretty good. You know, like the performance, without factoring in price, it's not amazing, right? I would say it's kind of solid. You know, I give it like it's okay, you know, but I would say there are better options out there. It just sucks because it's a cheap shoe and they're giving us really good tech, right? And we have this knit upper, we have the carbon fiber, we have the boom, which is super soft, but it's just like the traction was not good on dust, and then the fit for me, right? So I feel like if the traction was better and the fit was better for me, I would have absolutely loved the shoe. But like I said, it's not terrible. I definitely feel like people will enjoy it. It's just, in my personal opinion, there are better options out there, right? So anyways, that about concludes my review of the J Lin 2 SE. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.